Some very weird and wacky challenges in our brand new game show, Epic Win, at 5:30. But now on BBC One, Final Score.
Relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. Go!
The latest score is Wimbledon through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember. It was a crucial week.
Hello, welcome to Final Score. 2 matches already over, 3 with about 20 minutes to play in the Premier League and plenty of Football League action to tell you about too. Dion Dublin and Martin Keown have been given us their expert opinion and entertaining us along the way. Let's get the story, though, from the lunchtime kickoff at the Emirates first. They lost Laurent Koscielny to injury, then saw midfielder Emmanuel Frimpong sent off, and the bad luck continued when a fluke Aaron Ramsey own goal put Liverpool ahead. The Reds, though, made sure of the points when Luis Suarez scored from close range. And at the Stadium of Light, the first Tyne-Wear derby of the season ended in victory to Newcastle. Ryan Taylor got the only goal of the game, extending the Magpies' excellent record in these recent Tyne-Wear matches. The fullback netting a curling free kick on the hour mark, condemning Sunderland to a 7th defeat in 8 home games. The Black Cats had defender Phil Bardsley sent off in the closing stages with a second yellow card. Alan Pardew's Newcastle now have kept back-to-back clean sheets so far this season. Well, this is what's happening in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's Aston Villa 3, Blackburn 1. New boss Alex McLeish heading for victory in his first home game. Agbonlahor, Heskey and Bent all on target. Everton 0, QPR 1. Tommy Smith with the goal there. And it's Swansea 0, Wigan 0 at the moment. But we're going to go straight to the Liberty Stadium to Jason Mohammed because there's a penalty.
There is a penalty completely against the run of play. Ben Watson has the opportunity to put Wigan Athletic in front here at the Liberty Stadium. Jordi Gomez, who used to play for Swansea City, of course, was taken to the DW by former manager Roberto Martinez, tripped in the box. That was after Victor Moses' shot hit the bar. Oh, saved by Michel Vorm. Ben Watson went to Michel Vorm's right-hand side, and Vorm has pulled off a spectacular save. Swansea City have had all the game here today. They have been terrific today. In the last 10 minutes, Wigan Athletic have got back into it. They've hit a post, hit a bar, and Ben Watson has just missed a penalty. 0-0, Gabby.
Thank you, Jason. You called it.
Called it,
you said he was going to save it.
Yeah, he's known to be good at shot stopping, so I thought, he'll have a chance here. And it's a fantastic save. It wasn't a very good penalty, but he's
Swansea deserve that, though, don't they? Because
yeah, the way they played.
Been magnificent today. It's almost been like that rope-a-dope moment we've been saying they've been covering up all afternoon, Wigan. It's like they've had 10 men out there. And Swansea playing all the football, just can't score the goal. We thought maybe there it was going to be the Muhammad Ali knockout punch.
I've had a few boxing cliches off Martin. He's been sparring. They're going to come off the ropes in a minute.
But going to make some changes now. But Swansea, I think they deserve to win this the way they play.
It was all set on its way by Max Boyce, who was singing pre-match. It could only go one way, and let's hope Swansea make it a day to remember. Their first game in the Premier League at home. And it's the first game for Alex McLeish at home as boss of Villa Park. Andrew James has been watching his side cruise to a 3-1 lead. Well deserving of what looks like 3 points, Andrew.
Yes, very much so, Gabby. It was 4-1 here to Villa last season, 3-1 at the moment. They're on course to repeat that. Gabby Agbonlahor gave Villa the lead early on. Good strike from him from the left-hand side across goal. Emil Heskey got himself on the score sheet. We haven't said that since January to make it 2-0. And although Blackburn pulled one back in the early second half through Pedersen, a good header on the 6-yard line from Hoylett's cross, Darren Bent snuck in to put the ball beyond Robinson after Nelson had failed to cut out a ball forward. Blackburn appealing for offside for that one, but it really hasn't been their day. Only a couple of hundred or so Blackburn fans have made the journey. A lot of gloom around Ewood at the moment, and it's not really getting much better on their journey down the M6. Formica is on for Blackburn. He scored last week. Wonder whether he can get a shiny finish today. It's 3-1 to Villa.
It's a bit of a cliche to say that Everton always have slow starts. Of course, their game last week postponed because of the civil unrest in London. They were supposed to play Spurs. They start today at home against QPR. And Damien Johnson, they must have thought this was an ideal way to get off to a good start, especially after QPR's hiding last week. But it's not going to plan.
Yeah, home banker, many fans might have thought they're attacking again. The ball is cleared
Yeah, Tommy Smith's first half strike gave QPR the lead. That their only real opening, in truth. Everton have dominated, really. Leighton Baines hit the bar with a free kick. Cahill and Beckford also went close. Youngster Ross Barkley has really impressed on his debut down the left-hand side. But QPR, as you say, responding well to that opening day thrashing by Bolton. They're sitting back now, holding on to their lead. Everton increasingly frustrated.
The MK Dons are now 5-2 up. Sam Baldock with a hat-trick there. Let's go, though, to the reaction from the Emirates at lunchtime. I've already told you the detail of the match. Liverpool walking away with all the points. But here's what the managers had to say. Jonathan Pearce asking the questions.
Well, Arsene, you know we have a phrase in England, it never rains but it pours. And it's pouring on you at the moment, isn't it?
Well, I believe that the result is very harsh on the quality of our game. And overall... We cannot say that at the moment. We are very lucky, but as well, I believe the goal was offside today, and that is absolutely scandalous.
I don't know what the stats are. I just know that we get 2 goals. The first one might have been a bit fortuitous. The second one was a great bit of passing between Raul Meireles and Luis Suarez.
Reports coming in from France that maybe Sami Nasri's move to Manchester City has broken down.
I don't know.
How much would that lighten the mood here, though?
Well, I don't know. It's very difficult for us at the moment. I believe that it's very difficult to take on the chin today that defeat, because with the effort we put in, I don't think we deserve to lose the game. And for us, the biggest problem now is to lift the team and to prepare for Wednesday night. And if Samir can be with us, it's even better.
Can you understand the frustrations being suffered by Arsene Wenger at the moment?
I've got enough to look after in my own camp. We'll look after ourselves. We won't interfere in Arsene's business or anybody else's business in any way, shape or form. He's been a fantastic manager for Arsenal, and it must be a bit frustrating at the moment for them all, but as I say, nobody can take away the quality, the ability that Arsene Wenger has and what he's brought to this football club.
Well, Liverpool joint top at the moment as things stand with Aston Villa and Newcastle United on points, taking all the points there from the Emirates this lunchtime. And it's been a disappointing week for Arsenal, for Arsene Wenger, losing Fabregas, and they thought they were going to lose Nasri as well. Would that be any kind of light at the end of the tunnel if they managed to hold on to him, do you feel?
Well, it certainly would be. And looking at it today, he has to remain at the football club. Yes, you're going to lose £25 million, but you're going to lose maybe far more than that if he goes from the football club today. Frimpong coming into midfield, thought was exceptional, getting sent off. Keown limping off, one problem after another for Arsene Wenger, and more than ever before now, he's got to really manage this from the front. Good leadership is required. Big game midweek against Udinese, Manchester United coming up. This is a pressure time for Arsene Wenger and for Arsenal Football Club.
I think asking Kenny Dalglish, does he know the feeling that Arsene Wenger's... I think Kenny couldn't give a damn, to be honest with you. Going to Arsenal and getting a result is a big thing. You know, they beat them 2-0 at their place, and Kenny will be thinking, hold it a minute, you can ask me, I'll answer, but couldn't give a damn. I need my team to be on song. And Liverpool, to be fair to them, you know, got their just rewards.
OK, let's go to the City ground now. It was billed as the battle of the ex-England managers, and it was Sven's Leicester who looked like they were going to walk away with the points in the first half, certainly. Ivan Gassel can update us now.
Yes, this second half has been really rather flat. Leicester haven't built on their 2-0 half-time advantage, and Forest haven't really done all that much to break them down, though half-time subs Miller and Findlay have come on and at least tested Schmeichel. I talk of Schmeichel, he's getting a yellow card for time wasting, and it's been that kind of feeling in the last few minutes that Leicester just want to play this clock down, but there's plenty of time left, and now Forest have a penalty, a clean, clear handball in the 6-yard box, and McGugan it is going to step up to take it for Forest. A goal now will entirely change the face of this game and the atmosphere in the City ground. Up he steps, takes it and plants it firmly in the corner. Schmeichel will grab the ball, he'll throw it out, he's just been booked, he's going to get sent off. Schmeichel, the goalkeeper, an act of utter stupidity. He's conceded a penalty, then was booked for time wasting for grabbing the ball. The penalty was scored, and then Schmeichel grabbed the ball and threw it out over the touchline in a clear moment of madness, trying to waste time. He's been sent off. Now his teammates are absolutely fuming at him. What a moment. 2-1 here. It's all gone off.
We talked a lot about Schmeichel's the way he goes about his business. He's very, very adventurous in terms of his language and his, the way he remonstrates with his players. And, we saw the opening match of the season, he was giving them lots of physical kind of encouragement. They won't like that, though, will they? Because they're working hard to protect a 2-0 lead. Listen,
this is a young man who's very sure of himself. He doesn't even take advice from his own father. And there he is. It's a stupid moment. It's an aberration. What is he doing there? He's off now. All of a sudden, a game they're running away with. Forest could sneak a point here.
Unfortunately, you haven't got time. You haven't got time to be a young player in that quality league. You've got to grow up very quickly. And what he's just done there, he's shown that he's not quite grown up into those broad shoulders.
Says he never talks to his dad about his goalkeeping. Maybe his dad will talk to him about his goalkeeping.
Maybe he should, actually.
Well, you can see the goals and that incident as well if you stay with us on the red button when we leave BBC One. But let's go now to St Mary's, the team they're all trying to catch in the Championship. Southampton in the lead against Millwall. Tony Husband's been watching.
Very slender lead at the moment, Gabby. Really, this game on another day could easily be 2-2, 3-2, 4-3. The amount of chances we've had. Millwall have come very close to equalising in the second half. I think they'll feel somewhat aggrieved that they haven't been able to score. They had 3 goal line clearances in the space of a minute. They've been really galvanised by the substitute Josh McQuoid in the second period. Nevertheless, it is Southampton who are at the moment on their way to their best ever start to a league season, courtesy of Gulido Prado's first half goal. Still playing some great football, Nigel Adkins' men, but hanging on a little bit in the closing stages.
And just behind them, Brighton at the Amex Stadium. They did have a 2-0 lead, Andy Barwell. Blackpool got back into it, though.
Yes, Brighton looked to be cruising here through Craig McHale-Smith's header and a coolly taken goal from Ashley Barnes. Brighton were rampant, the Amex Stadium was rocking, but Ian Holloway switched it around for Blackpool, making a triple substitution, and the impetus from that saw Kevin Phillips get back a goal. Brighton became edgy for a time, although Gus Poyet's men could have re-established his 2-goal cushion. Not sure how exactly Craig McHale-Smith didn't get his second, but it remains Brighton 2, Blackpool 1.
And Derby, the third team with a 100% record so far in the Championship, going well today again at Pride Park. Mark Bishop, so much so, this is their best start for 106 years.
Unbelievable, Gabby. Derby County 3, Doncaster Rovers 0. They were just completing, apparently, the Trans-Siberian Railway in 1905. Yes, 1905, when Derby Luss won 4 consecutive matches at the start of the season. Major landmark for Nigel Clough. How proud his late father, the great Brian, would have been today. Great goals from Kilbane, Stephen Davis and Ben Davis, all helping Derby to plunder Doncaster Rovers this afternoon. They played like a side without a point, run ragged all over the pitch. Even an on-loan debut for Chelsea's 18-year-old Slovakian international Milan Lalkovic has gone largely unnoticed. It's going to be 4 straight defeats for Doncaster. Derby riding high. They lead 3-0.
Thank you very much, Mark. Let's go to the Majewski now. Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes has had a busy afternoon describing events between Reading and Barnsley. How's it going?
Well, Reading have finally got the goal that they richly deserve. It's Reading 1, Barnsley 2. It was third time lucky for Reading. They had 2 penalties saved by Luke Steele, who's been excellent in the Barnsley goal. Finally, Hal Robson-Kanu, the third different player to take it. He managed to beat him just by tricking him, really, put it in the left-hand corner. Barnsley took the lead in the first half by centre-back Stephen Foster, and then a lovely cool goal by Matt Doan put them 2-1 up. But they don't really deserve it, it's got to be said. It's 2 minutes left of normal time here in the second half. Reading 1, Barnsley 2 rather.
Let's go to the Valley now. Charlton leading the way in League One and leading the way in this match as well, Robin Bailey.
They were too much in the comfort zone, Gabby, though. They have conceded a goal from Bobby Grant, who's come in for Gary Thompson today and has been Scunthorpe's best player. He wriggled his way free. He might have had a hat-trick, you know. He's had 2 brilliant efforts saved superbly by Rob Elliott in the Charlton goal. Those Charlton goals from Johnny Jackson, the captain, in the first half, and Bradley Wright Phillips in the second. But it's nip and tuck here, 2-1.
There's a goal for Ian Turner to tell us about it. Tannadice.
A goal for Dunfermline with just 6 minutes left on the clock, and it looks as if Dunfermline Athletic, newly promoted to the SPL, are going to maintain their 100% unbeaten record. It's come a bit against the run of play. Paul Burns with a low 20-yard shot when United failed to clear a Dunfermline attack. He drilled it low into the corner, beating Dusan Pernis, and it's Dundee United 0, Dunfermline 1.
Let's check in with Brian McLaughlin at Easter Road.
Yeah, 2 minutes left, Gabby. It's Hibs 1, St Mirren 2. Hibs ahead in the middle of the first half. Gary O'Connor scoring about 2 goals on the stroke of half-time by both Stephen Thompson, giving St Mirren a deserved lead. 2 minutes left here. Hibs pushing for the equaliser, but St Mirren still leading.
Let's go to the Stadium MK. Tony Lockwood, we haven't checked in with you for a while, but a few goals since the last time we spoke, and another one potentially on the way.
Absolutely no shortage of incidents. No shortage of goals. 5-2, the MK Dons lead. Jay O'Shea, the substitute, has won a penalty, steps up, right foot, sends the keeper the wrong way. No playoff hangover for the MK Dons. A hat-trick for Sam Baldock. A goal for Dean Bowditch. One for substitute Luke Chadwick. And it's a penalty from Jay O'Shea to bring up their 6th of the afternoon. 6-2, they lead Chesterfield.
And it's going to be their best start ever to the league. Well, some great sport coming up on the Red Button this evening. England's women take on Belgium in the European Hockey Championships at 5 o'clock. And at 6, Great Britain's basketball team are up against China in the Olympic test event. Those events aren't on Freeview, but you can catch up with them and a whole lot more Olympic sport tomorrow afternoon.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. London has been in full test mode as we prepare for the Olympics next year. And in a special programme tomorrow afternoon, we'll bring you all the action from the beach volleyball here on Horse Guards Parade, from the road race that started and finished down the Mall, and also bring you up to date with Britain's medal hopefuls. That's 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on BBC Two.
Thank you, Claire. We'll be there. Let's go, though, now to the Liberty Stadium. Jason Mohammed, all kinds of drama there this afternoon. Are we going to see a winner, though?
Unbelievable drama, and Ben Watson has just fired over a corner. Mohamed Diame's near post head has just gone wide. You know, I've just got my breath back, Gabby, and I think the rest of the 19,000 crowd here for the first ever Premier League game outside of England have just got theirs back as well. Wigan Athletic have soaked up all the pressure this afternoon. Swansea City have had so many chances. They really should be leading by 3 or 4 goals. But actually, in the last 20 minutes or so, Wigan have proved that at this level, you really have to turn that possession into chances. You have to take your chances at this level. Wigan Athletic hitting the post, hitting the bar, then getting that penalty, which Ben Watson put to the right-hand side of Michel Vorm. And what a terrific save. It wasn't a great penalty, but still, nevertheless, he has to save those. But 4 minutes to go, Swansea City 0, Wigan Athletic 0. Roberto Martinez, I get the feeling, on his return to South Wales, will be very happy to get away from here with the point, 0-0.
Difficult to start, you know, you're opening 2 games against 2 promoted sides as well, because they start with that enthusiasm, and, you know, for Wigan, obviously, up against Norwich last week, it's difficult to gauge where they are at the moment.
Well, you would think that there'd be more quality coming from Wigan, wouldn't you? And I'm not seeing that. And if this is really going to give us an idea of how they're going to play through the season, then we would have to be worried for Wigan, because Swansea have totally dominated this, played with such confidence. Dyer and Sinclair on the flanks. And I'm not sure what in that Wigan side where Roddy Yeager's on the bench, where is their threat coming from? You know, we've said that it's like rope-a-dope. They are taking so much pressure against the better sides. They're going to struggle.
They look very comfortable. They look very comfortable because of the way they play the game, and they really believe in the way the manager wants them to play. And Wigan have been second best.
One of the other promoted sides, of course, QPR, had a hammering inflicted against them at home last week by Bolton. Today, though, they're in the lead at Goodison Park. Damien Johnson looking a bit more comfortable with life in the Premier League, and it's going to last a bit longer than the other matches as well. A lot of injury time there.
Yeah, 5 minutes just been announced. I'm not sure how comfortable they are, actually, although they're breaking now through Adel Taarabt, but the danger snuffed out by Sylvain Distin. Yeah, it's Tommy Smith's first half goal that's put them in control here. In terms of the scoreline anyway, it's all been Everton. They've been banging on the door, but resolute defence has kept them out. One shot from young Ross Bartley was saved by Kenny, and a tame effort from Phil Neville a few moments ago. QPR hanging on, they lead 1-0.
Let's go to the Amex. A goal, Andy Barwell. Is it the winner or an equaliser?
It's an equaliser for Blackpool, Gabby. It's Brighton 2, Blackpool 2. It was volleyed home by Kevin Phillips, 12 yards out. Just brilliant technique from Phillips, absolutely brilliant. And it's no more than Blackpool have deserved. They've really changed this game around here. They were 2-0 down, but it's now Brighton 2, Blackpool 2.
Kevin Phillips' 4th goal of the season, and it could mean they avoid defeat and take something away from the Amex. Let's go to Turf Moor. James Mason has been watching this one. It's all square.
It is all square. Burnley won, Cardiff City won, but both sides pushing for a winner in the final minutes of this game. But the home side should really be 2-1 or 3-1 up, having scored early on, but since missing a host of chances. Austin headed Burnley ahead early on. You can probably hear the wind. There's wind, rain, everything. 4 seasons in one day. But Burnley have failed to capitalise on a string of chances. Rob Earnshaw scored just before half-time. 2 penalty claims waved away for Burnley as well. Final minutes, Burnley won, Cardiff City won.
Two teams down in the doldrums, Coventry and Watford, playing at the Ricoh Arena, and really the match hasn't been up to very much at all, has it, Steve Lee?
No, not really. It's Coventry 0, Watford 0. No goals, not too many golden moments either. Coventry have had the lion's share of chances, but have lacked that killer punch. Eastwood and Jukovic have both gone very close in the second half for Watford. Sordell's swerving shot punched away by Murphy. Two teams struggling. It's a 0-0 so far.
How's it going at Ashton Gate? Hamish Marshall can tell us.
Bristol City 0, Portsmouth 0, just going into stoppage time. Dean Gudgin's been showing why he's been keeping David James out of the Bristol City side with two superb saves to deny Liam Lawrence. The first from a header, the second keeping out a powerful shot. He was beaten once from a Luke Varney 30-yard curler, but that hit the post. Pompey on top, but still goalless.
Let's go to the KC Stadium. Adam Pope's been watching the visit of Crystal Palace. The home side just can't get that goal.
They can't, and as Palace park the bus, which normally induces travel sickness, it looks like they could get their first win in 19. James Chester's own goal in the first half, although Jermaine Easter will claim it, divides the two sides. The worst start for Hull City in 5 seasons, and Palace looking for a third win on the bounce for the first time in 3 years. 1-0 they lead.
Full-time whistle is blown at the Majeski. Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes.
Well, it's a first win for Barnsley this season. Despite their skeleton squad, they have beaten Reading 2-1 here at the Majeski. Reading really should have won this game. They had a shot cleared off the line, 2 penalties saved and numerous chances. But Barnsley, they took the lead midway through the first half, and then they went 2-1 up midway through the second half. And they will be very, very pleased with this result. It is Reading 1, Barnsley 2.
And the final whistle has blown at Easter Road. Brian McLaughlin.
It's finished Hibs 1, St Mirren 2. Colin Calderwood's dismal record as Hibs manager continues. Just 9 wins now in 35 matches. They led through Gary O'Connor, but 2 goals in 3 minutes before the break by both Stephen Thompsons on the pitch for St Mirren this afternoon were enough to give the Paisley side a deserved win. It finished at Easter Road. Hibs 1, St Mirren 2.
Aberdeen finally get their first win, 2-1 winners over Inverness at Pittodrie. But let's go to Tannadice, where Dunfermline's good start continues, Ian Turner.
Yes, booze around Tannadice because a Paul Burns goal 6 minutes from time has handed Dunfermline a second win in 8 days and maintained their unbeaten record. United were the architects of their own downfall with impotency in front of goal throughout and sloppy defending for the goal. It's a great return to the SPL for the Pars, but 5 points from 5 games will not satisfy the Tannadice faithful. Dundee United 0, Dunfermline Athletic 1.
The full-time whistle has blown at Villa Park. Andrew James at the Liberty Stadium. They huffed and puffed, but they couldn't get that goal, Swansea.
The Premier League, Gabby rolled into Wales for the first time, and after the male voice choir, Max Boyce pre-match hype over the return of Roberto Martinez, a goalless draw. But Swansea City had all the possession, all the chances. Danny Graham, Scott Sinclair and Wayne Routledge all went close. Wigan launched a remarkable counter-attack in the space of 15 minutes, hit a post, hit the bar, and Ben Watson missed a 73rd penalty. Swansea City's first Premier League point, but it should have been 3. Swansea City 0, Wigan Athletic 0.
Well, all the promoted sides now have something to show for their endeavours because QPR have got their first points, a win at Goodison Park. Damien Johnson was watching.
Yes, Tommy Smith plundered the first half goal that gets Queen's Park Rangers off and running back in the Premier League and continues Everton's recent record of starting the new season slowly. Smith found time and space in the area and finished smartly. It was Rangers' only effort on target. Everton made all the running. Leighton Baines hit the bar with a free kick. Tim Cahill was denied a penalty for what looked like a clear push in the penalty box. Cahill, Jermaine Beckford and impressive young debutant Ross Barkley all went close. Fellaini had a late point-blank header straight at Paddy Kenny. Frustration, though, for cash-strapped Everton. Joy for Neil Warnock and Queen's Park Rangers.
Let's go to the City ground. Ivan Gaskell, a goal.
It's been coming from the moment that Kasper Schmeichel threw away the ball and perhaps threw away his team's chances of staying in front of this game with a stupid red card. Forest have been building their momentum and finally it's paid off with just 2 minutes of added time left. Of the 5 that we're playing, Forest are level and this place has erupted. I think it was Wes Morgan, a defender thrown up into attack, who got the final touch. And you know what? Forest might even said that they could pinch this one. It's been quite a second half. 2-2 here.
You can see the goals and all the incidents. If you stay with us, they'll be on the red button very shortly. But let's go to Pride Park. It's all over. Derby have had their best start for 106 years, Mark Bishop.
Magnificent result, Gabby. Derby County 3, Doncaster Rovers 0. They might even heard the roar all the way along the Brian Clough Way to the City ground. at the final whistle here at Pride Park. 4 consecutive wins, the first time since 1905. Nigel Clough's face beaming from ear to ear. It was all Derby. Kilban's early opener knocked the stuffing out of Rovers. Stephen Davis then made it 3 from 4 directly from the restart in the second half. What a goal that was. And then the icing on the cake, a 20-yard curler from Ben Davis. A sumptuous effort. Utter misery for Rovers. But these are heady, if not early days, for Derby County. Final whistle, Derby County 3, Doncaster Rovers 0.
Let's go to the St Mary's now. Tony Husband has seen Southampton keep up their challenge at the top of the table.
Yes, now 4 for 4 on their return to the Championship. Their best start ever to a season, but they were really made to sweat here by a Millwall side who really peppered the Saints' goal in the second half, 3 times forcing goal line clearances as they attempted to cancel out Gulido Prado's first half strike. Few will knock it around as well in this league as Southampton, but Millwall certainly proved their sternest test yet. Southampton 1, Millwall 0.
But Amex Stadium today wasn't the scene of a victory for the home side. Brighton couldn't hold on, Andy Barwell.
No, 2-2 the final score here. It was a cracking finish to the game, though. Brighton seemed to be coasting to a 4th successive league win, 2-0 up through Craig McHale-Smith and Ashley Barnes. But what a change from Ian Holloway's Blackpool side after a triple substitution. They rocked Brighton after Kevin Phillips got 1 goal back, and it was Phillips again who rescued a point for Blackpool, volleying home a 90th minute equaliser. Full-time, Brighton 2, Blackpool 2.
Well, the league leaders in League One, Charlton, couldn't hold on to their 100% winning record. Robin Bailey, you saw this coming, though. You said they looked a little bit complacent towards the end of this match at the Valley.
They certainly were, and this is the first blip in Charlton's perfect season so far. Scunthorpe denying the leaders a 4th successive win with 2 Bobby Grant goals. The brightest player for the Iron, poaching in the last 10 minutes, the equaliser in the 93rd minute. This after Charlton had a 2-0 lead. Captain Johnny Jackson and Bradley Wright Phillips had put them in that comfort zone, but the Iron never gave up, and they deserved this point at the end. 2-2.
And it's full time at the City Ground. What a dramatic end to proceedings there. What was the wager again, Ivan Gaskell?
It was dinner. I'm afraid they're going to be both paying. Honours even at the end, and what a second half this eventually turned out to be. Leicester so firmly in control at the break, 2 up and full of confidence. Nugent and Fernandes with 2 goals in 3 minutes. Forest fans grumbling on the floor. Miller and Finlay came on. Forest slowly improved after the break. Then a critical, pivotal one for Kasper Schmeichel. Ridiculous moment that changed the game. Mills handled. Schmeichel was booked for holding on to the ball. McGugan tucked away the penalty. Then Schmeichel hung on to the ball again, then bowled it out towards the touchline to try and waste more time. Referee Mr. Moss gave him a red card. Stupidity. It really did sting Leicester. It rejuvenated Forest. They pressed on towards the end, and in the 5 minutes of added time, finally came a scramble. George Boateng judged to have got the final touch, and Forest have got out again, and Leicester haven't won here still for nearly 40 years.
Thank you, Ivan. As I say, you can see the goals and the incidents from that match on the red button. Let's now, though, get the full classified results with Tim Gudgin.
And first, the Barclays Premier League. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. Aston Villa 3, Blackburn Rovers 1. Chelsea and West Brom kick off at 5:30. Everton 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Sunderland 0, Newcastle United 1. And Swansea City 0, Wigan Athletic 0. In the Empire Championship, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Blackpool 2. Bristol City 0, Portsmouth 0. Burnley 1, Cardiff City 1. Coventry City 0, Watford 0. Derby County 3, Doncaster Rovers 0. Hull City 0, Crystal Palace 1. Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester City 2. Peterborough United and Ipswich Town have an evening kick-off at 5:20. Reading 1, Barnsley 2. Southampton 1, Millwall 0. In League One, Brentford 5, Leyton Orient 0. Carlisle United 2, AFC Bournemouth 1. Charlton Athletic 2, Scunthorpe United 2. Huddersfield Town 3, Colchester United 2. Milton Keynes Dons 6, Chesterfield 2. Oldham Athletic 2, Rochdale 0. Preston North End 1, Exeter City 0. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Notts County 1. Stevenage 2, Hartlepool United 2. Tranmere Rovers 1, Sheffield United 1. Walsall 1, Yeovil Town 1. And Wycombe Wanderers 0, Bury 2. In League 2, AFC Wimbledon 1, Hereford United 1. Bradford City 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. Gillingham 3, Plymouth Argyle 0. Macclesfield Town 0, Bristol Rovers 0. Morecambe 2, Aldershot Town 0. Northampton Town 2, Cheltenham Town 3. Port Vale 4, Accrington Stanley 1. Rotherham United 2, Barnet 2. Shrewsbury Town 2, Crewe Alexandra 0. Southend United 0, Burton Albion 1. And Torquay United 1, Crawley Town 3. In the Blue Square Premier, Alfreton Town 1, Forest Green Rovers 6. Bath City 0, Barrow 1. Braintree Town 1, Mansfield Town 1. Cambridge United 1, Kidderminster 2. Fleetwood Town 1, Hayes and Yeading United 0. Gateshead 1, Kettering Town 1. Luton 5, Southport 1. Newport County 0, Grimsby Town 0. Stockport County 1, Ebbsfleet United 1. Tamworth 1, Darlington 0. And York City 0, AFC Telford United 1. In the Clydesdale Scottish Premier League, Aberdeen 2, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1. Dundee United 0, Dunfermline 1. And Hibernian 1, St Mirren 2. The Ironbrew Scottish Division 1, Ayr United 2, Falkirk 2. Livingston 4, Dundee 2. Partick Thistle 1, Hamilton Academical 1. Wraith Rovers 1, Greenock Morton 1. And Ross County 2, Queen of the South 0. Scottish Div 2, Airdrie United 1, Cowdenbeath 5. Arbroath 3, East Fife 0. Brechin City 3, Dumbarton 3. Forfar Athletic 2, Stenhouse Muir 3. Stirling Albion 2, Albion Rovers 2. And in Scottish Div 3, Allen Athletic 2, Alloa Athletic 0. Clyde 1, Montrose 0. East Stirlingshire 0, Peterhead 2. Elgin City 2, Queen's Park 0. And Stranraer 2, Berwick Rangers 1. In the Corbett Sports Welsh Premier, Ballard Town and Carmarthen Town, it's a late kick-off. In the Carling Premiership, Ballymena United 0, Crusaders 3. Cliftonville 0, Portadown 2. Coleraine 2, Lisbon Distillery 3. Dungannon Swifts 1, Linfield 4. Glenavon 1, Carrick 2. And Glentoran 1, Donegal Celtic 2.
OK, let's have a look at the tables then, starting with the Premier League. Very early days, obviously, but Aston Villa and Liverpool leading the way after winning by 2-goal margins today. Newcastle up to third, thanks to their victory in the Time Wear derby. QPR moving to the top half of the table when they collected their first top-flight win for 15 years at Goodison Park. At the bottom, Blackburn dropped to the foot of the table following their loss at Villa Park. Everton are just above them after their defeat in their opening match of the season. And Swansea's first ever Premier League point takes them up to 16th. So if the season ended now, they'd be safe. Tottenham begin their campaign at Manchester United on Monday night. But let's have a look at the Championship. Southampton and Derby both recording victories to maintain their perfect winning starts. Brighton let slip a 2-goal lead at their new stadium. It's their first dropped points of the season. They fall to third as a result. Crystal Palace registered a third straight win to move up to fourth. At the bottom, Doncaster Rovers continue to prop the table up. They're now the only side in the division without a point. That's because Coventry finally got their season up and running with a goalless draw against fellow strugglers Watford. Barnsley recorded their first win under Keith Hill to climb up to 15th. To League One, the MK Dons are the new leaders after they hit Chesterfield for 6, and that boost to their goal difference is enough to see them leapfrog Charlton and Sheffield United, who both conceded late goals, to see their perfect starts to the new season come to an end. Brentford head the chasing pack and enjoyed a fine 5-0 win this afternoon at Grifton Park. And Leyton Orient lost again. They're still to get their first points of the season. Exeter, Chesterfield and Rochdale also beaten and complete the bottom four. To League Two. A superb win by Football League new boys Crawley helps them to the summit of League Two, where they're now joined by Gillingham and Rotherham. At the bottom, Crewe's nightmare start to the season goes on, following their 4th straight defeat. And to the Blue Square Bet Premier at the top, Gateshead losing their 100% start to the season, but still top of the table, along with Fleetwood, Tamworth and Wrexham. At the bottom, Grimsby, Telford and Ebbsfleet picked up their first points of the season, leaving 5 clubs level at the foot of the table. And to the SPL, the leaders Motherwell not in action today. They face Rangers tomorrow and Celtic take on St Johnstone tomorrow. Dunfermline up to 3rd, thanks to Paul Byrne's late winner against Dundee United this afternoon. St Mirren sit 4th after winning at Hibs. Aberdeen rise to 9th, courtesy of victory against the bottom side in the Ness. There are the tables. Let's get the headlines from the Premier League today. Arsenal also had Emmanuel Frimpong sent off. It finished Aston Villa 3, Blackpool QPR 1. Tommy Smith's strike giving newly promoted QPR their first points of the campaign. Sunderland 0, Newcastle 1. Ryan Taylor's free kick earning the Magpies victory in the Tyne-Wear derby. Phil Bardsley got a red for the Black Cats late on. And it finished Swansea 0, Wigan 0. A Mikel Vorm penalty save from Ben Watson to earn Swansea a point in their first Premier League game, held outside of England. Historic day there at the Liberty Stadium. You can catch up with all the Premier League stories of the day with Gary at 10:30. He's joined by Mr Hanson and Mr Lawrenson this evening. And then it's the Football League show at 10 to midnight on BBC One. Manish has all the goals and all the stories of the day wrapped up for you. And then Match of the Day 2 tomorrow is a busy one. It's back on BBC 2 at 10:25. Norwich taking on Stoke, Wolves up against Fulham, Bolton against Man City for you there. So a good watch tomorrow evening. An interesting day in the Premier League. I think the early matches in particular, really kind of the games that will probably get talked about a lot on Match of the Day tonight. Arsene Wenger's difficult week.
I think I'll continue. I think, the chat will be after the show tonight. I think it's all going to be about Arsene Wenger. What's he going to do? Is he going to change his strategy of getting players in and not getting players in? Kenny Dalglish gets a fantastic win. Let's not take it away from Liverpool. I think that'll be it. It'll be Arsenal all the time because they've got to do something. They've got to change something.
What's happening off the pitch is just as important what's happening on it. Disaster today with injuries and more suspensions. But we expect Arsene Wenger to put it around.
You two are staying with me, and you can have your say on 6:06. But we have to say goodbye for now on BBC One. Stay with us on the red button, and we'll see you in just a moment. We'll see you next week, though. Bye-bye.